And welcome back, and is the Corbett Higher plus 5 a day, and we are doing the 24th of Feb, and let's have a look at the first question. So the first question says, prove the product of 3 consecutive odd numbers is odd. So I'm going to let my numbers be, so let numbers be. Now, prove the product of 3 consecutive odd numbers, so I'm going to let it be 2n minus 1, 2n plus 1, because I know when I add, the ones are going to go away, and then 2n plus 3. Then I need to do the maths part. So the maths part tells me to prove the product. So I need to multiply these together. So I think I might have said add before, but I'm multiplying these together. So it's going to be a little bit painful, but let's go with it anyway. So first bit, now 2n times 2n is 4n squared. Because I've done a negative, there's going to be a bit of cancelling here. So minus 2n plus 2n goes away. I made it a bit easy for myself, minus 1. And that's going to be 2n plus 3. So basically I did a reverse difference of two squares. Now, 4n squared minus 2n is 8n cubed. 4n squared plus times 3 is plus 12n squared. Minus 1 times 2n is minus 2n. And minus 1 times 3 is minus 3. Now, I need to show, I can write that as a form 2k plus 1. So I'm going to say this is equal to 8n cubed plus 12n squared minus 2n plus, not plus, minus 2 plus 1, and that is because I can factorize this down to 2 4n cubed plus 6n squared minus n minus 1 plus 1, which is of form 2k plus 1, which I'm happy with. Next question. Okay, so the next question says, can I make C the subject? Now, as with some of these questions, there's definitely a quicker way of doing it and a slower way of doing it. I would argue to you the quickest way of avoiding a lot of work is to move the 1 over n to the other side first. So that's going to give me 1 over m minus 1 over m, 1 over n equals a plus c. Then I would make the left-hand side one common denominator. So that's going to give me n minus m over mn is equal to a over c. And then I'll just flip it the upside down. So that's going to tell me that c over a is equal to mn over n minus m. Multiply both sides by a, and that means c is equal to a mn over n minus m. And I'm happy with that one. Question done. Next question. Martina has the following coins, 5p, 5p, 10p, 20, etc. Martina wants to pay 60p for a car park. She selects 3 coins at random without replacement, so conditional probability. Work out the probability she has chosen the exact price of the ticket. I've just realised this is not, I thought it was going to be a horrible, horrible combinations question, but the only way of making 60p by using 3 coins is getting 20, 20, 20, or by getting 50, 5 and 5. So I've got 2 different combinations. Now I've got combinations of getting those combinations, which I'll also need to talk about, but let's do that in a second. So the probability of getting 20, 20, 20, well, that's the easiest one because that's just the same thing repeated. Now I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. So 20, 20, 20, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 coins. So that's going to be 3 over 8 times by 2 over 7 times 1 over 6. And I'll leave that there for a second. The probability of, now, there's quite a lot to say here, and it's difficult because I don't have a lot of space. Probability of getting 55, 5 could also be 5, 50, 5 or 5, 5, 50. These are all the same thing with different orders of coins. If I work out one of them and multiply it by 3, it must be the same thing. So again, think about why that's true. It must be the same as doing 55, 5 as it is doing 5, 55. So therefore I just work out one of them and multiply that by 3. So 55, 5 is going to be, well, there's 150p, so 1/8, times by the 2 5p's over 7, times by the remaining 5p over 6. I'm going to times all that by 3. So let's get my calculator out. So 8 times 7 times 6 is going to give me 336. I'm going to write it here because I've got space. So 336, and 3 times 2 times 1 is 6. This one here is going to be 2 times 3, which is also 6. Now 8 times 7 times 6 must be the same number, which is 336. Then I add these numbers together, and that's going to give me 12 over 336, which is the same as 1/28. And that is my answer to this question. Really good, thoughtful, probably. This could be an end of paper difficult question. So well done if you got that. Next and final question. A solid base pyramid 1 is divided into two parts, a square base pyramid and a frustrum as shown below. Pyramid 1 has base side length 8. Right, let's write this down. So the big one's 8. Pyramid 2 has a side length of 4. Okay, they've made this slightly easier because they've done it exactly in half. The perpendicular height of pyramid 1 is 10, which means it's a scale factor question basically, isn't it? So if the base is 8 and the base is 4 over here, the height must be half of that, which means the height is 5. The perpendicular height of pyramid 1 is 10, I've done that. Frustrum 3 is made from material with a density of 4.2. Work out the mass. Now, this is one of those questions where I need to think about what I need to get to each step. So I know the mass is equal to the density times the volume. So in other words, I'm going to need the volume. And I know the volume of a frustrum, in other words, the bit at the bottom, is going to be the volume of the whole pyramid, which is going to be a third times its square base, isn't it? Yes. So a third times 8, which is the base, times by the height, which is 10, minus a third times the one that's going away, which is 4 times 4 times by 5. Now I can actually use scale factors here, but I won't. I'll keep it easy. So that is going to be, so 8 times 8 times 10, divide by 3, 640 over 3. I can't believe I just did that on my calculator, but anyway. 4 times 4 times 5, divide that by 3, is 80 over 3. Take this away, and that's going to give 640 minus 80, which is 560 over 3. So that's my volume. Then I can work out the mass by doing 560 over 3 times the mass. Now, quick check. Grams per centimetres cubed. My measurements are in centimetres, so that's good. Otherwise, I've got to scale that as well. So times that by 4.2, and that's going to give me, so times 4.2, and that's going to give me 784 grams. And that is today done. These questions are getting tougher and tougher, aren't they? But really, really, really good practice. Some of these could easily be end of paper questions. I mean, mid-late end of paper type stuff. So well done if you got all of those. Do as ever, any comments down below, please do like and subscribe to the video, and I will see you for the next one. Thanks all.